Hey, Claire speaking.
Hey, met Kim. Who is it?
Claire, it's Claire.
No, I mean, how are you? How is everything?
Alles is fijn.
I think you mean alles gaat goed?
Nederlands is so hard.
Do you mean moeilijk? Ja, het is moeilijk. Maar jij bent heel slim.
Slim? Nee. Ik ben een beetje dik.
I'm not saying that. I mean, like, you're so smart. And do you want to have a drink somewhere?
Ja, leuk. Willen we naar een koffieshop gaan?
I don't really want to go to a coffee shop. Do you perhaps mean, shall we go to a place to have a coffee?
Yes, but no more Dutch, please.
No worries, I will learn you.
Haha, you mean to teach?
Oops, yes.
Oké, tot zo. Doei.
Hi everyone, my Dutchies to be. So good that you're back and so good that you're watching this video about 10 false friends in English and Dutch. What are false friends? That is when a word looks so similar in form or sounds so similar to a word in your own language that you assume that they mean the same, but then they don't. Yeah, so that's a false friend. And in the short phone call between me and Claire, we already saw 6. And I'm gonna add 4 more, so we get a total of 10. And some of them are very frequent and others are just really funny. So first I'm gonna explain the 6 ones from the introduction and also give you the right word to use in Dutch instead of the English one that looks familiar and that you assume means the same. And then I'm gonna add 4 more. The first one was that I asked Claire, who is het? When you see the spelling of who, the Dutch who, you can assume that it's a different word. But when you hear it, it's almost the same. So Claire interpreted this as, who is it? Like, it's me, Claire. But that was not what Kim asked, because who is het means, how's everything going? And if you want to ask the English, who is it? Which person is it? Then you can ask, wie is het? Number 2. Now Claire understood the question and she answered, het is fijn. Okay, het is fijn, het is fijn. What does that mean in Dutch? The Dutch fijn can either mean something is delicate or a little bit thin. Like if you say, ik heb fijn haar, it's a little bit thin, it's not so thick. We also use it, for instance, with fijne dag, fijne weekend, fijne vakantie. So then you're wishing someone to have a really nice and great time or to be well. But then how do you say I am fine in Dutch? Het gaat goed. Then Claire is really frustrated. And I imagine she's not the only one being frustrated. And then says, Nederlands is hard. I know what you mean. It's really hard. But not the Dutch word hard. It's not Nederlands is hard. Because hard can either mean that something is firm or solid. So this is hard. Or you can use it in a sentence like, ik rij hard. What she meant was, Dutch is difficult. How do you say Dutch is difficult in that meaning of hard? Nederlands is moeilijk. And sometimes people confuse moeilijk with makkelijk. So moeilijk is difficult or hard and makkelijk is easy. Then I wanted to give Claire a compliment and I said, yes, it's hard, het is moeilijk, maar jij bent slim. And she thought, what does this have to do with this, like my body? Huh? I don't know. And she looked at herself and said, no, I don't think so. I'm not slim. First of all, that's bullshit, but it's a women thing, I guess. Let's not go there. But that's also not what Kim meant. She wasn't referring to her body. She was referring to her mind. And she meant you are smart. Je bent slim, you are smart. And if we're talking about body type and being slim or slender, how do you say this in Dutch? Je bent slank. The next question Claire asked, or it was more of a proposal, I think. There are two false friends. Willen we naar de coffeeshop gaan? Literally, this means, do we want to go to the coffee shop? I think she meant, shall we go to the coffee shop? It's a proposal. The English will, doing something in the future or a promise or whatever, is often confused with the Dutch wil and willen, which most of the time only means you want something or someone wants something. And this is a whole other topic, and I made a video about this because it can be quite complex and almost all students make this mistake. So I would really recommend you to watch this video as well and click there. And then the coffee shop. In Dutch, if you say this to every Dutch, they only think of the place that you can buy marijuana or smoke it or whatever. We never relate this to a place that you can drink coffee. So proposing to go to a coffee shop or on the street asking someone where is the nearest coffee shop, for sure they will point you towards a place that you can buy weed, and maybe you just really wanted to drink a cup of coffee. So don't say this. Then what do you use instead of these two false friends, willen and coffee shop? Zullen we ergens koffie drinken? Those were the ones in the phone conversation. Now we're gonna add 4 more. First one is braaf. The Dutch word braaf, which most of the time is misunderstood for the English brave. So let me give you an example. Kim is braaf. If you interpret this as Kim is brave, I would really love to hear this. I dare to do a lot of things. I'm very brave. But it doesn't mean that actually in Dutch. Kim is braaf. It's like Kim is such a goody-goody. She's well behaved. How do we say brave in Dutch? Dapper. Kim is brave. Kim is dapper. Then look at these 2 words. Also seem kind of similar. The naam Kim is raar. The name Kim is rare. I don't think so. I think a lot of people around the world are called Kim actually. So no, it's not rare. No, it isn't rare. Het is raar. And raar is weird. Or you can say Kim is raar. Kim's weird. Rare, rare, rare. What is rare in Dutch? Rare is zeldzaam. So if you want to say the name Kim is rare, the naam Kim is zeldzaam. Okay, then these 2 words. They are spelled exactly the same, but now I'm gonna pronounce the Dutch one, which isn't file, such as the English one. No, file. The auto's staan in de file. The cars are in the file. Which cars in which file? The cars are in the traffic jam. Oh, that makes more sense. But what is a file? The file on your computer, for instance. That's een bestand. And the last one. Also, spelling is exactly the same. English one is pronounced as map. Dutch one is pronounced as map. Another example. Kim heeft een map voor elke student. She has a map for all her students. They don't know how to go to her language school. She needs to provide them with maps. Don't they have Google Maps on their phone? Een map of een mapje is a file folder. For every student, I have a file folder like this. Een mapje. And what about the map that you use to find your way somewhere? Dat is een plattegrond. And I'm not providing those because my students have Google Maps. They're so modern, these students nowadays. Then of course, at the end, I was also using a false friend. I did that really in the beginning when I first started teaching and I was telling about this. I said, yeah, I'm learning Dutch. Like, what kind of work are you doing? I'm learning Dutch. you know Dutch. Why are you learning Dutch? And I asked what you're doing for a profession. No, I'm learning Dutch to other people. No. You're teaching Dutch. Yeah. I also make these mistakes in English. I'm also making these mistakes in German. Another video will be about false friends in German and Dutch. So before I go, I want to ask you, which ones do you know in English and Dutch? Which ones did you use maybe? And now you know that they're false friends, but maybe like a long time ago you didn't know them, or maybe some of those that I just discussed, you didn't know them yet. And yeah, if you want to learn a lot more Dutch and you're not subscribed yet, then do that now. Or if you want to read more texts, listen to podcasts, or to have access to online courses that I'm developing, you can become a patron. If you want to know more about that, click on the link in the description. And I'm uploading a lot of things to my Patreon page. So let me just say een heel fijne dag en tot snel. Doei!